Welcome to this cycle ride around New Arlesford in the county of Hampshire in England. Today we're heading off from New Arlesford on a sunny morning to explore the site of the Battle of Cheriton that took place during the English Civil War in 1644. I've parked the car in the Perrine School public play and display car park on the edge of town. You could use the Watercress Line car park, which is back in the centre of the town, but your stay is time limited there if you're not actually travelling on one of the Watercress Line trains. That's why I haven't used it. I can't remember exactly how long it's limited to, but it's about 3 hours. So just be aware of that. So I've been advised by a fellow cyclist that there are 4 information boards located around the site of the battle, and we're going to visit just one of the boards, which is just outside the village of Cheriton. The ride's mostly off the beaten track, so I'm not expecting much in the way of traffic. There's also a short section of off-road track that runs past the Grange at Northington. Notable places on the route include the pretty village of Cheriton, which is very close to the source of the River Itchen, which runs through the village and is worth a quick look. There's also the Grange at Northington, which is run by English Heritage and free entry, so again, if you've got time, worth having a quick look at it. Just after the Grange we'll come across the River Itchen further downstream, where you can usually see watercress growing in the crystal clear waters. The area has been one of the major sources of watercress in the country for as long as people can remember. The Spitfire monument on the Oxford Drove, which commemorates the loss of 3 Spitfire pilots during a training exercise in 1944, is worth stopping at to reflect on the events of that fateful day. And finally, we arrive back at New Arlesford itself, which has got many cafes and eateries where you can pick up refreshments and recover your ride. I'll update you with more details as we progress, so in the meantime, enjoy the ride. So we're now arriving at the pretty village of Cheriton. The River Itchen flows through the centre of the village with the source just to the south of the village. The largest spring feeding the river is to the side of Kilmston Road to the south of the village. We'll not be going that far and we'll turn off to the left just before the village to head to the War Memorial. I've included a few photos from the village of the spring, which was taken by Adrian Pink and posted on Flickr. Well, they're going to retrace our steps out of the village and then head off towards the War Memorial. This is as far as we're going to go through the village, but if you head on down this road, we're about stopping here, down to the Kilmston Road, eventually you'll reach the spring, which is the source of the River Itching. Hello, should I come past? We're now at the site of the Battle of Cheriton, which took place on the 29th of March 1644 during the English Civil War between Charles I and Parliament. While not as well known as some of the other battles of the Civil War, such as Naseby and Marston Moor, it is regarded by some as a key turning point in the war. Hampshire occupied an important strategic position between the rival forces. Generally speaking, the west and north of England supported the Royalists, while the east and most of the Midlands supported Parliament. In the south, the counties to the west of Hampshire were largely Royalist, and Sussex, Kent and Surrey were largely for Parliament. The town commanders who were to face each other at Cheriton were Lord Hopton for the King and Sir William Waller for Parliament. Friends as young men, they'd taken different sides in the Civil War. Hopton had beaten Waller at Roundway Down near Devizes and at Lansdowne near Bath, whilst Waller had been victorious at Alton. On the day of the battle, the Royalists under the command of Hopton held a line from East Down to Cheriton Wood, in the valley to the south of where we are standing. A little further south, Waller's parliamentarian forces held a line between Lamborough Fields and Bramdean. At midday, The Royalist army attacked on horseback and suffered heavy losses due to poor tactics were unable to prevail. The Royalist army eventually fled, retreating to Arlesford. It is estimated that a total of 17,000 men were involved in the battle, with 900 parliamentarians lost and 1,400 Royalists. Over time, cannonballs have been dug up in Cheriton Gardens, and various mounds in the area are thought to be mass graves. So now we're going to continue with our ride. We're going to head off round Cheriton Wood, across the A31 and then up towards Brighton. I will just say here, watch out for ghosts as we go past Cheriton Wood. These would be the Royalists and parliamentarians that are still lurking in the woods after the battle. Okay, so now we're heading out of Cheriton Woods and then onwards towards the A31 that runs into Arlesford and then up the hills the other side towards Byton. Just approaching the watercress line here and going underneath it in the tunnel. So here we are coming up to the village of Byton. We're going to go across the main Byton road here that runs into New Arlesford, head up towards Abbotston Down. We've just turned onto the Oxdrove Way. Remember that because it's become a feature later on when we talk about the site of the Spitfire crash in 1940s. Okay, so I've now sped up a bit and we're now crossing Arlesford down and heading down towards the Grange. So over on the right hand side here you'll see a gatehouse which is coming up, so if you turn right here you'll head down to the Grange at Northington. This is one of the finest examples of Greek revival architecture in Europe. It was first built in the 1660s as a Palladian brick mansion and was transformed in the early 19th century into a magnificent neoclassical residence resembling a Greek temple. So it's owned by English Heritage, free access to the external parts of the building, and there's good parking there, or obviously of course you can get there by bike. So I spent a very pleasant hour there wandering around and taking photographs and thoroughly recommend it as a visit. check out the website for more details. Alright. Sorry? No, afraid not.
I need to find the address.
Yeah, can't help you, sorry. I mentioned earlier that we passed the River Itchen again, so here we are crossing it further downstream. You can clearly see the watercress growing in the river here. So it's just an example of how easily it grows and how it came to be exported across the country as a crop from Arlesford. So I mentioned the Oxtrove array earlier. Here we have on Folly Hill the memorial that's been placed to 3 Spitfire pilots that sadly lost their lives in July 1944 while undertaking a training exercise. They crashed in the fields here, and this memorial's been placed to remember them. Well worth a quick stop as you're cycling past. Wesley Farm Shop on the left here is not investigated, but it looks interesting. Might be worth exploring if you happen to be passing. So here we are, arriving back at the car park where we started. Thank you for watching if you got this far. If you've enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up, and please feel free to visit the website and provide a review on there, and you'll also get more information on the website. about the route, what you can see along the way, and more details about some of the things I've pointed out. So thank you again for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed the video.